What's up, guys? Imagination Coffee here. I have a YouTube channel, Imagination Coffee. So I post things mostly about coffee. Also, Tupac is my favorite rapper. To me, the greatest rapper of all time. So I will do first hit videos and play a Tupac song that I think that people will like or whatever. So that's what I do. So either it's coffee or drinking coffee while listening to Pac, are the videos that I make. But this video is not necessarily about coffee. It's about a reaction to I want to say not the prison genre YouTube, but channels that talk about gangs and prison and stuff of that nature. So this video particularly, I want to talk about renegade media and all the flack that he's receiving from all these channels. I want to make one thing clear. I am in no way, shape, or form involved in any gangsterdom. I'm not a gang member. I've never been a gang member. I, of course, like any Chicano family or person, I have family members who were old school F-14, uncles and cousins that are Southsiders, maybe a couple Northerners. But being from Fresno, you grow up around all this stuff. So it's kind of like I was never involved in any gangs. I don't understand a lot about gangs, but I kind of understand their language and where they come from. So anyways, I've been noticing a lot of these what do you want, so-called prison channels, or I don't know, whatever you want to call them, are speaking about renegade media, J Hands 559 or 559J. And I don't understand completely why he's getting all this hate, particularly coming from Dubs and Gunner. And I fucked with Gunner, man. Gunner's Collective, I remember when he first came out, I thought he was very funny and he very entertaining, very knowledgeable. He speaks well. He knows how to hold your attention. I love the Super Norteño series he's got going on. I think Gunner's channel is the shit. Dubs, I don't really know a lot about Dubs. I just barely started watching Dubs. I like his get down. I like the way he talks and the way he breaks and analyzes things, the stories he tells of his past and his reflections and his expertise about talking about gangs or whatnot. So yeah, but I don't think they're bad people or in any way, but I just don't understand how they just keep on going at Renegade Media. You know, whether you like him, whether you don't like him, agree with what he's doing. Never once have I heard that dude talk negative about Gunner or Dubs or anybody else. I think if he does say anything, it's because in response to all this hate that he's getting. Now you can say whatever you want to say. Oh, he speaks out of hate because Jay says he used to be an ex Norteño. I don't know if he ever was an NF member, Northern Rider, stuff like that. And he was betrayed. You know, whether or not it was his fault, I don't know. But I think anybody who puts all their energy and puts all their stuff in one basket and expects people to ride for them, and then all of a sudden turn their back on that person or turn their back on that person, I think that will make anybody kind of feel something. You know what I mean? So whether or not that is right or wrong, that's not what that doesn't matter. I'm not talking about that, but what I want to talk about is all this hate that he's getting, man. And I don't think, from what I watch, because I enjoy watching Jay talk, I enjoy his stories. I enjoy his story. Coming from a gang member to a father and making money and being able to being able to provide for his family, his children, and I think that is a phenomenal thing. I'm sure he's not perfect. I'm sure he still has some of those things that all game members, ex-game members, struggle with. You know what I mean? So, but I've never heard him say, any negative things about, whatever. I just think he tells his stories, and maybe, the people that are on the other receiving end, maybe they don't like the way he does it. They don't like his get down. Maybe it's jealousy. I don't know. But, I just don't understand why Dubs just cracks down on this dude. You know what I mean? And not once has he ever said anything bad about Dubs, even Gunner. And I get why Gunner does it too. Like, Dubs is his homie, his brother, and he's loyal, and he's gonna back Dubs, and I get that, and I respect that. We talk about Pac and Snoop. We all know that Snoop Dogg, is a liar, and he didn't back Pac up during in New York. He was saying all the New York homies, they're my homies, and Pac was having beef with them, and Pac was like, what the heck, what are you doing? And that made Pac feel a certain type of way. So I get why Gunner goes in on Renegade, but I don't think it's right, man. I don't think it's right. Because like I said, I've never heard Renegade Media talk bad about Dubs, talk bad about Gunner, talk bad about High Power Fitness, some of these other channels that say they're not prison channels, but they talk about prison politics and gangs and whatnot. So, and like I said, I mean, maybe you can tell me to shut the fuck up because you're not a game member, and that's fine. But I do enjoy watching Jay Hands, and I do love watching Gunner. I like watching Dubs. I like watching some of these channels, but I just don't like how they're going at Renegade. You know what I mean? Like how they're just every video every time you turn around, they're talking about Jay Hands and putting his name through the mud and all that. I'm like, damn, man, like what did he do to you? You're not even talking about you. You know what I mean? But maybe I got it wrong. Maybe I got it twisted because I'm not, I've never been a game member. I don't know what that life is like. You know what I mean? I'm just an outsider looking from the outside, but I'm just kind of giving my 2 cents on how what I perceive when I see these channels kind of like clicking up and going against Jay Hands. I haven't watched all of Jay Hands' videos, so maybe he has, said some negative things about these other channels. Maybe he has said some negative things about Dubs or Gunner or whoever. But to my knowledge, I haven't even heard him say anything like that. So, maybe, I don't know. So, I'm not going to elaborate too much longer, but, and in terms of, in the words of Rodney King, can't we all just get along? But that's my 2 cents. If you have not, go ahead and, hit that, if you want to follow me for my content, like I said, I don't really do a lot. I do mostly shorts. I love coffee. I'm passionate about coffee. And Tupac is my favorite rapper. And what better way to have a first sip of a espresso or coffee and listen to some Tupac jams. So I hope you guys have a blessed day. I hope you guys have a great Easter weekend. I hope you guys enjoy your families, enjoy the Easter egg hunts and the barbecues at the picnic. I hope it's going to be good weather, good vibes to everybody. And God bless you, okay? Y'all take care. Peace.